In this live, I'm going to be sharing on Esther. In the previous live, I had story time and I shared my experience in Chef's Movement and where are the other sisters. In this live, I am going to share from Esther, from the book of Esther. We can turn our Bibles to the book of Esther, chapter 1. Um, there's a lot that I've been thinking about when it comes to Shushan. So, in the book of Esther, in chapter 1, it reads, Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, this is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 127 provinces, that in those days when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign, he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces, being before him. When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty, many days, even 180 days. A score is 20, so 4 is like 4 times 20, which is like 80. So, and the honor of his majesty, many days, even 180 days. So we already see 18 there. Hello everyone who's just come in. What are you talking about? AIR? So I've had a huge mental problem this year thinking about my direction in terms of moving out, as it is clear what I'm doing inside the house and what I'm doing in my life generally. I just go live, grow business. I'm crocheting and that's all I'm doing. Hello everyone who's just come in. Nice to meet you, Ali. So guys, Ahasuerus ruled over India and Ethiopia and 127 other provinces. So clearly, he was on the side of black. Excuse me. So we are working in the white group of people, as I understand my messages. But when he was ruling, he's ruling over the side of black. So I don't know what this means, but I can already see the setting of Shushan. I'm situated in black majority, but I'm working in white majority. So as I was just thinking, I'm living in Umtata and I'm sharing the prophetic messages on topics that probably America is going to be taking and using. Just makes sense. a little bit, and I take it practically, and it just makes sense. I was living in KZN, and it's the same thing. So when I think about my opportunities, I'm wondering, so what does this mean now? You know, am I gonna go back to KZN? Hi, everyone who's just come in. You've already said hi, Barcelona. Hey, Steven. So I don't know if I should go back to KZN, stay here in Umtata. I have a dilemma there because I've seen Umtata is almost our virgin, very virgin land. They even have the mountains called the mountains of a woman. It is boobs of a woman's boobs, and they just stand there, you know. It's like a virgin land, so I can imagine um, people influencing people in KZN maybe to become white during the time of my captivity, and so they can help them and also be a part of the work to cleanse my sanctuary, I guess, my bodily temple in that sense. And it was favorable during that captivity because God had opened up a lot more to be allowed during that time than it is now. So I'm just thinking, and it just makes a lot of sense. Go back to KZN and I settle there, and that is restoration for me. Guys, I've been going through a lot of mental just thoughts and everything. Last year I came back and I went to Wusu, and I thought that's a turning point. But while I was there, I just wanted to stay. Just wanted to stay, and I heard myself, and I even wrote on my Facebook account, if I just stay here 8 years and then go to America. And the 8 years is turning to longer, I don't know. But I am closer, and I think God has called me to be with Black people. And I can see Indian and Ethiopian, that line of Black people is in KZN. Collaboration with the ANC is KZN. Indian farms and white farmers, Indian workers, Indian people, and Islam and the Muslim people in the Middle East. They even have an East Street, KZN, Pietermaritzburg, where I lived. So you see my bottom teeth are not aligned anymore, especially my bottom teeth. Guys, guys, going back to KZN. Wow, okay. I've been thinking about the ladies in Adventism who were there in 2021. Those ladies, they are gonna be going through, these phases are getting lighter and lighter and lighter in the skin because they're moving from black to white. They entered and even went to the Democratic parties. They were voting members of the Democratic Alliance. And then they quickly went back to Adventism 2023. They moved from black to white. And I moved from white. I entered with Jeff's messages and the methodologies, Palmoni, and other methodologies. And now I moved from there and I kind of dimmed his light with the addition of campaigns and politics. And I think that is what I do. Come in, I have my messages, they're truth. I'm always virgin, but within this side of the work. And kind of dim just light. And King Charles, who entered last year, 2025, into the holy place, he comes in and he brings darkness. So he brings darkness, but he's working with the churches and he's working with the loaves. If you remember, the services of the holy place. He works with the churches. He works with the loaves, and also the prayers of the saints. So guys, back to KZN. I've been seeing people here from who are Zulu people. It's like they're saying, hey, let's go. You're still in Mthatha, you're still saying you're in Mthatha. When are you coming back? Thank you, Arabas. Thank you for the sweet words. Arabas says, for you, one beautiful song, my sweet girl, Ramon Dark Escape. I don't know that song. Take a screenshot of it. So now I'm reading from verse 4 to verse 6, and it reads, when he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 140 score days. And when these days were expired, the king made a feast unto all the people that were present in Shushan the palace, both unto great and small, 7 days, in the court of the garden of the king's palace, where were white, green, and blue hangings fastened with cords of the linen, and purple to silver rings, and pillars of marble. The beds were of gold and silver upon a pavement of red and blue and white and black marble. So Shushan was really beautiful, made up of many jewels, many stones. The palace is just paved with beautiful jewels, stones. I'm thinking of jewels, but jewels are made from these beautiful stones, are carved from stones. So I see here the red, blue, and white and black marble. It's really beautiful. The events that are spoken of here, you can see the events that are spoken of here as a king in Shushan. What does he do? When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom. So he shows the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty for about 180 days. So that's like at midnight. At midnight, Ahasuerus wants to show the beauty of his kingdom, the glorious beauty of his kingdom. He wants to show the the wonders of his kingdom. Um, for many days he does this. I'm reading now from verse 7 to 12. And they gave them drink in vessels of gold, the vessels being diverse one from another, and royal wine in abundance, according to the state of the king. And the drinking was according to the law, none did compel, for so the king had appointed to all the officers of his house, that they should do according to every man's pleasure. Also Vashti the queen made a feast for the women in the royal house which belonged to King Ahasuerus. On the seventh day, when the heart of the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, and Abagtha, Zethar, and Cacus, the seven chamberlains that served in the presence of Ahasuerus the king, to bring Vashti the queen before the king with the crown royal, to shew the people and the princes her beauty, for she was fair to look on. But the queen Vashti refused to come at the king's commandment by his chamberlains. Therefore was the king very wroth, and his anger burnt in him. I'm from South Africa, Arabas. So at midnight 2021, the king wants to show the beauty of the kingdom, the glorious beauty of the kingdom. And on the seventh day, he wants to, he's merry, um, and he wants to show the beauty of Vashti. But Vashti doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to come in, and this makes the king very angry. Verse 13 to verse 22. Then the king said to the wise men which knew the times, for so was the king's manner toward all that knew law and judgment. And the next unto him was Kashina, Shita, Admata, Tarshish, Perez, Messina, and Memucan, the seven princes of Persia and Media, which saw the king's face, and which sat the first in the kingdom. What shall we do unto the queen Vashti according to law, because she hath not performed the commandment of the king Ahasuerus by the chamberlains? And Memucan answered before the king and the princes, Vashti the queen hath not done wrong to the king only, but also to all the princes and to all the people that are in all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus. For this deed of the queen shall come abroad unto all women, so that they shall despise their husbands in their eyes. When it shall be reported, the king Ahasuerus commanded Vashti the queen to be brought in before him, but she came not. So in verse 2, verse 17 from verse 13, you're gods. Wow, that is amazing. How are you gods? And can you tell me a little bit more about being God? I know God from the three horns that were uprooted, and the gods, the Varalize and the Ostrogoths. It's the Ostrogoths. Ostrogoths, the Heruli, and the Vandals. I know them from what happened in 530, 508. Yeah. So it's so amazing to hear someone say that God. Are you gods? Gods, the goth people who wear like or are you goth as an Ostrogoth by birth? What do you mean you're God? Hello, everyone who's just come in. I've been following the Ostrogoths and Heruli and the Vandals for some time now because I think they are very important now. Excuse me, but I haven't met a Goth, an Ostrogoth by birth. I've been following the Vikings also. I think there's some link to Vikings and the Ostrogoths and the Vandals and the Heruli. So I've been following them for some time now, looking at groups. Hello, Sophia. You can do whatever you like. Actually, you can do whatever you like. Um, your support will be appreciated. Hello, everyone who's just come in. Um, so the other princes now decide that Vashti is disrespecting them. Also, they feel disrespected because um, Ahasuerus is disrespected here. So verse 18 to verse 22 reads, Likewise shall the ladies of Persia and Media say this day unto all the king's princes, which have heard of the deed of the queen. Thus shall there arise too much contempt and wrath. If it please the king, let there go a royal commandment from him, and let it be written among the laws of the Persians and the Medes, that it be not altered, that Vashti come no more before King Ahasuerus, and let the king give her royal estate unto another that is better than she. And when the king's decree, which he shall make, shall be published throughout all his empire, for it is great, all the wives shall give to their husbands honor, both to great and small. Thank you for your support, Sophia. Hello, everyone who's just come in. Verse 21 and verse 22 reads, And the saying pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Memucan. For he sent letters into all the king's provinces, into every province, according to the writing thereof, and to every people after their language, that every man should bear rule in his own house, and that it should be published according to the language of every people. So Vashti is called by Ahasuerus, and she doesn't go. And Ahasuerus now is very angry. So the princes sit together and they start discussing on disrespect that comes from women. And they start discussing on whether or not Vashti now not coming to Ahasuerus, her husband, is not promoting disrespect to men. So she says, they say that she is disrespecting them because she's disrespected him. And Ahasuerus takes this and um, just publishes a decree on the honor of women to their men. And this decree influences the families in Shushan. The husbands now start being honored. They gain more honor from their wives, and this now puts Vashti at a place where she is set aside, and another woman is going to be sought after by Ahasuerus as his wife. And so this is the end of chapter 1. The book of Esther is a book that's talking about a lot of things, but I think one of the main things that is important to me is the direction that it sets as a person who finds themselves with the messages of Islam for this time. So this becomes something that I think is important to me because of the direction it sets. Um, I was in KZN 2021 to 2024, and I found that the influence was coming from President Biden. President Biden was Catholic, and at that time, he was promoting being a Christian. So, influence that pulled across during the time of my captivity, especially in the captivity of America, was captivity by Christians. And they became very prominent. I remember very well the fight with Europe fighting with Afghanistan, saying that in everywhere Christians abide by and they respect the rule of um, the Persians and the I guess the Muslim people, but Muslim people don't respect the rule of Christians. So everywhere they are, they want to do their own thing. So that war came from the captivity that was going on. So now that I am restored back and I have the members of my body are the Middle East and now Christian people all just leaving, the mental health, my mental health is extremely challenged, and there's a lot of confusion of things. Um, in 2021, I should have moved and maybe gone to a slow living area and also an area where I was gonna be a little bit more calm and just happy. In KZN, I could have moved to like Hilton or Drakensberg and lived in the mountains during my captivity, but I didn't. And 2025, I had the feeling that I should move to Mtata to come and just be in the slow living and be happy here. And so I came here and I was happy in going to Wusu, even walked there, even though I could feel that my captivity was not necessarily out because this is years and years and years of going into captivity, then coming to the end, which is 2021 to 2024. So you can imagine being an Adventist, um, being in Just Movement, all of these years until I have my own messages where I stand independently and I do things independently. All of these years I've been in captivity. So the fight now has been that in captivity, all of these people that have taken me into captivity in one way or another, they came and in the final cleansing of my body, they were all there, um, and I had to fight them, and I did. So I tell you the activities of my life when I share about my experience um, in all sorts of different areas. And I share about me going to Ipworth, me being a Trelawney. I share about, um, I share a little bit about Victoria Girls Primary School. Um, but these are, excuse me, moments and moments where I went into captivity. Excuse me. I share about, excuse me, going into Humansdorp. I share about Hartenbos. I share about Drakensberg. I share about Langmarke. I share about St. Nicholas. So each of these points in my life, I've had gone through bits and bits of captivities. So from these bits and bits of captivities, coming to this final captivity of 2021 to 2024, these areas and these different bits of captivities that have affected my body, either emotionally or mentally or spiritually, has done something to me in one way or another. So the goal now is to go back to KZN. And I've been thinking about the Middle East also. And it seems my mind is turning away from Stellenbosch. And I don't know if it is going to move towards Pretoria. So that is something that is in the air, moving back to Maritzburg. And you can imagine this is restoration. So I'm thinking of Maritzburg, my restoration, then clearly that is where I'm going to settle. So yeah, Arabas. I'm already thinking of accounting, thinking of nursing, thinking of medicine. Many opportunities in my restoration, enter into places and go and get articles in accounting. I'm not interested in becoming a chartered accountant. I wasn't interested in becoming an accountant as such, but when it comes to the books of my business, I think it really does help to know. And that's the whole reason why I was going to go to farm management. It was to know how to do the books for my business, to know how to grow my business, how to take care of it. So thank you, Mbuso. So yeah, just going back to KZN and let's go and take care of business. It's like 32 minutes, guys. So I'm done with this passage. And tomorrow I'm going to be reading chapter 2 of Esther. So now I just sit and I just chat. I was campaigning on the bubonic plague and promoting good health, guys. It's really cold on my legs. I promote on my Facebook account Hopuchilunon, promoting the bubonic plague. I mean, I'm promoting good health and raising awareness on the bubonic plague. That's why. Was wondering why my microphone is wrapped up around my jersey. Now I see. And guys, I can see now that it's going to be very, very lovely. And I'm just thinking, how am I going to take all of this equipment? But yeah, next year I'm gonna go and I'm gonna apply for the work there, the articles, the 3-year articles, and probably gonna look for an apartment. I'm gonna look for an apartment. Even from today, I'm gonna look at apartments. I've been living in Maritzburg for quite some time actually. Went to high school there, and primary is my grade 7. So it's been quite some time. It's not really new to me. There was a time I was even thinking of living at Hilton. I was saying if I have money one day, I want to live here. A friend of mine lived there. She probably still lives there with her mom, grandmother, and the other brethren from Trelawney. They lived there. My friend is also from Trelawney, I guess. But now there's not going to be that reunion, I guess, with Trelawney that much. So we're not going to live at Hilton, or I eventually have my own farm. It's like, it's just for the sake of being around people that now are my new friends, new colleagues, new associates, acquaintances. Mayor Chris Papas, and other people. So I've been looking at the work that the DA is doing. They're doing a lot of work in KZN, Hawik. Though I'm not DA, but I guess you guys can already tell that it's almost like very close to me in this sense. So um, I'm still gonna be doing lives even when I go and I train. I'm still gonna be doing lives. And yeah, guys, I don't know a lot to say now. Yesterday I had a lot to say. Also, I was going to share on my studies on Occult and Hermancock, but I think my mind is a little bit um, just, it does a lot. It is full, very full. Um, I've been looking at MBA also, guys, and I feel like MBA is also just an amazing course that I can venture into. I wonder if I am gonna be well, why wouldn't I? Just wondering. I'm gonna settle well in Matsburg. And I was just thinking of when to leave. So I don't know when, but I want to leave soon. I want to go to where I should be and quickly settle. So I'm gonna look online and see what is going on, and then I'm gonna find myself going, guys. Start my life somewhere else. Maritzburg, back to Maritzburg. Share with you guys my journey and my crochet business and my journey in my music with my music. I have my guitar here, and I brought this guitar in 2014 here. And Maritzburg is using my little brother's guitar. He doesn't use it, and that's the guitar he's using. I brought this guitar here, and I'm just thinking when I'm there, I'm probably gonna buy myself a steel string guitar. This one is so beautiful. You can pick, guys. I don't know how to pick yet. So I strum And strumming is so beautiful in a steel string because you can connect it to electricity. And when you strum, it has a very beautiful sound, you know. Um, so guys, oh, I'm tired. I was living at home, so sleeping a lot, and just find that now this back to KZN, and this is KZN, not the one where I was just walking all the time to town for no reason. So even if I'm walking to town or whatever, it's like I'm doing something, you know. So guys, I just think of French hook. That's for white people. Stellenbosch for white people. Pretoria's. So yeah. When I was in Just Movement, I can see the swap. When I was in Just Movement, it was really really good when I was there, and I was like, it was interesting going to Stellenbosch, you know, with like like I see the dolls and everything, but it's so similar, so similar. I don't know where the difference goes and where we are different, but I literally had to go around Russia and like so on, get to India, like stand with the Middle East and hold the sheik there and be like, where are we now? Russia, okay. And hold the sheik and stand in like in front of me in the middle and be like, oh my goodness, where are we? It's like India and Africa. Oh, where are we now? In China? Okay. So, goodness. I don't know if any one of you guys have gone to the fun run in Dubai. But because the time I was thinking about them, no, my eyes are itchy. My eyes itch. And there's also flea markets and stuff. I guess that motivates me. So yeah, you guys. I don't know. I was just thinking, uni, so Wusu. Uh, and I came back to Wusu. Just thinking of finishing our Wusu because it's Ethiopia. Um, and India. So yeah, guys. It is Ethiopia and India. So just making my decisions very wisely. When I complete our UNISA and I have my articles done, that would be really lovely for my business. And I don't know if I venture into business admin or something like masters MBA. I know, guys, but you are with me in these lives. We will work together. We will work together. Um, I'm venturing and really taking a lot of my opportunities in the private sector. I did tell you guys white majority. So it's like this component of um, grabbing opportunities in black majority that are for white majority because I'm working in white majority. So yeah, it makes sense though. Living in black majority, working in white majority. So um, yeah, it seems UNISA is definitely a positive part education. Um, and I'm just thinking right now that many people who study at UNISA are mainly self-paid private people because they are working already. So um, maybe that's one of the reasons that it seems to be very, very positive for me. And also, I don't know, I just think that it is not. And because of that, then yeah. Oh, guys, this is so interesting, very interesting. This is a turning point. The turning point was last year. The turning point that came back to Wisu, and then I was out, and now I started moving back to KZN and like staying there. So, guys, it makes a lot of sense. There are many opportunities in KZN. I really don't mind moving. In my time. It's just like think about Stellenbosch so much and then be like, whoa, guys, whoa. So if I was in just movement, for example, Adventism is they're positive with Stellenbosch. Um, yeah, that is interesting. It's like going to Stellenbosch University and then coming out and you working in going back to work in black majority. Sure. But like yeah guys, I guess Pietermaritzburg is full of all sorts of different people. Um Hilton has a lot of excuse me, white majority. It's white majority in fact. Um but KZN is Indian majority. It's not majority, it's like it's Zulu majority. So it's like if I got a case to Pietermaritzburg, it's like I'll be happy like in Bali. Um, living in like Bali or like Cumberland for Muslims, or like North Trail for Indian people, um, like Woodlands for colored people. So Saka be okay there. Um, yeah. so yeah. So I guess the first place is at Cumberland, and um yeah. Yeah. And there's Hilton, there's Ashburton, there is um where else? There's another place also. So yeah, I can decide to go and live wherever, I guess. I'm going to live wherever. The also Caucasic people in KZN are not necessarily white. They are very especially in politics, like Mayor Chris Papas. They are black. They're Democrats. They're black. So as I'm in the white group of people, um, it really doesn't affect me even if I go to Hilton. But if I really want to be like really stick to the racial point of view, um, and Ahasuerus and so on. Is there other provinces also Ahasuerus ruled over? So I wouldn't know. Um, and as I know it, Prince Father in his Prince Father project, he has about at least 11 signatories, and there are other people who are signatories there besides. I don't think India and anyone from Africa was a signatory there. So I'm in the white group of people. So if I don't want to enter too much into my husband's affairs, um, let us seek light from um, going Muslim and going black white people rather than going too much into Kumbali and um, Northdale, because I'm not gonna know. So I'm thinking about it now. I'm not gonna know what's going on. I keep going back to my husband, going keep asking, what's going on? Why are they doing this to me? Why are they saying this? How are they saying this? What's going on? And yet the issue is not that there's anything going on. I'm just there. I'm almost like in my husband's affairs. Esther is not said to have been given the duties of being ruler over these provinces by her husband. He says, I'll give you about half of my kingdom. Tell me what you want if you want that. But she doesn't actually ask for half of his kingdom. So I cannot with certainty say that as a ruler. She was a queen that they honored, but the king there was Ahasuerus. She wasn't a king over. So must be very careful with these pathways you run to. Seems like I'm running to to be safe. Um, yeah, I think my mind should be just very, very careful. Um, During the time of the captivity, one thing that was very scary to me is the black crawl. People say it's a men's conference sometimes. It has many names. Say men's conference. Um, but it goes, and then it enters straight into the black crawl. And God always just tells us to wander away from the black crawl if we are participating or working with the Bible. So I find if my prophetic messages have these works that tread towards black people from that point of view, then it's almost like someone who is working in very dangerous ground must be careful. So yeah, working in white majority and living in black majority, ruling over black majority, working in white majority, and living in Shushan, which is um, so the Muslim ones are governed by Ahasuerus. Yeah, working and living in white majority. I'm not sure why I'm laughing, guys. Guys, I don't know why I'm laughing, but it's really got to my mind because I'm like repeating the same thing. So I'm thinking about it and like it's like living and working in white majority, right? And then like rule over black majority, rule over black, a rule over black majority. Influence over black majority. So guys, yeah, just living and working white majority and ruling over black majority seems to be the most most better understanding of this. I went to Epworth High School, and Epworth High School is a white majority, and um, I was living in Eastwood, and that's black majority. I don't know how I influenced people at school, but I lived in black majority and went to school for white majority. So gassy, I keep farting. Sorry guys, you had to hear my small farts. mm, okay, so that's what this whole thing means. That's what has been going on behind the scenes for me. Um, it came at a time when I was going through a captivity, which I can imagine. I'm such a bad person right now, but I think God does a work. God turned my heart and my mind around, so I understand He does a work behind the scenes in these things. Turned my heart and my mind around, and I moved from KZN, came straight to Mtata. And it was very, very sudden and unexpected, I want to say. And then now I'm moving back to KZN, and it is sudden and unexpected. I was sleeping the whole day today. I just woke up, and suddenly I understand I should be going back to KZN. So I do have a home. I'm happy it is at least somewhere I can begin. But I'll soon be moving out of my home to white majority. That is more expensive rent, and my lips are peeling. Dead skin on my lips. I usually take a toothbrush and I do this, and they become a little bit softer at times. And also put Vaseline on my lips, and they become very, very dry during winter. Um, an hour has gone by, guys. And it's like 19 past 1 in the morning. I'm very happy for your support, guys. Very grateful also. And to keep saying my age, but I don't think I'm gonna say it now. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next live, and it's probably tomorrow morning.